Not great on the lights in here just yet, but I'm only just set up. So it will have to do for now. I wanted to talk a little bit about something I teased, which was the new camera that I'm recording on. Ooh, this is causing some shadows. Let's not do that. I went ahead and purchased a new camera that I've been looking at for a while. I pulled from savings and decided to spend money. That's basically the whole explanation for it. I've been working with it so far. I tested it out. It came the week before moving. It came in the mail, so I spent that week when not packing reading the manual and trying to learn and understand it. But this is really the first time today that I've gotten hands-on with it, and there's been a few quirks that I've had to overcome, like the internal temperature getting too hot and it shuts off while I'm recording. I've been dealing with that for a while. I just Googled and found out that you can turn it to a high setting so it lasts longer, and so far it seems to be doing that. I ran into some issues with the wireless setup because it wasn't just the camera that I got, and I'll show you here from another angle because it's hard to make a camera record itself. Let's see. So I went with Sony because I thought it would have everything that I would want, which it does have just about everything that I want. It didn't quite meet all of my demands, as it turns out, because I didn't find out until after the fact. They don't explicitly tell you that it doesn't record 4K 60 using the full frame sensor. It crops it, which is not what I wanted. That was kind of the whole point of getting it. But I didn't know that. They did not put that anywhere that I saw when I was researching it. But I got that, and I got a couple of lenses for it. I got a wide angle. This is an 18 millimeter, which is great. It's still a little bit, it's just about as wide as the other camera I was recording on, but I can record 4K natively instead of trying to go 1080 and then upscaling. So it will look better. There's no doubt about that. I also got a zoom lens, and I'm going to be using this for other projects as well. I got an actual audio recorder and a new shotgun mic as well. This is where I started running into trouble, and you can see what we have hanging down here is my wireless microphone that I'm wearing right now. The reason it's hanging down there is because I had it set up on the camera itself, and it turns out it has interference with the audio recorder when it gets too close. So no matter where I managed to position it, it still was doing buzzing, which we can't have. So right now it's just hanging. I'll have to figure out a solution for that and put it somewhere else to mount it. I have to play around with that. I only just discovered that a few hours ago. But other than that, it's great. It is a much bigger, it's a lot newer than anything else I've been using. It's got a lot more features, and like I said, I'm going to be using this for several things. It wasn't just upgrading specifically for these videos. It was upgrading so that I can use this for all of my contract photography. And I'm basically replacing my other full-frame camera, which I've talked about is, 14 years old, or something like that. 14 or 15 years old at this point. So while it was working and doing what I needed to, this will do what I want even better, and I can use it for multiple purposes. For that work, for making videos like this, I'm also going to get an adapter so I can put it on for wildlife photography. I want to try that out and see how that works. All kinds of things. So I'm pretty pleased with it so far, even though it is a crop from the full frame sensor. They do crop in order to do 4K 60. It does seem to overheat pretty easily, although we'll see how it goes now that I've changed the settings to high. I also set it into airplane mode so that it wasn't running any unnecessary programs like trying to connect to networks or anything. I'm not doing anything with that right now. I might do it in the future because I know that I can connect to it through an app on my phone, so I could use it as a remote trigger, because that was something that I did with my other full frame camera. I would take it out and do long exposure, which you cannot be holding a camera for long exposure. You have to set it up, press the button, and make sure you're not anywhere near it. Otherwise, any movement or wiggles will make your image come out blurry. So I don't have a remote anymore because that remote was specific to that camera. But if I can use the phone app, then I can still do something like that, which would be great because in the mountains of Colorado, there should be some nice skies to take pictures of for photography at night of the sky, night sky. Yeah, there's a term for that. Astrophotography, I think. Anyway, that was just a short thing to talk about the new camera. Definitely will know more about it as I continue to use it, but I took it out today and it worked fine for all of the nature stuff that I saw. I did run into some trouble with it being heavier than my old one, so the suction cup mount I put in my car, I started driving, and I was like, well, I'll just talk real quick while I drive to this next location, and it fell, so that won't work. The other problems I ran into is I thought, I had all my batteries charged, and I didn't, so that has nothing to do with the camera. That was the AA batteries that go in the recorder. Pretty sure I charged all those, but I guess not, because they were dead, so I had to call it early, but besides all that, I do plan on putting this on the gimbal as well that I have, so that I can get nice steady shots of the landscape, which as soon as I get back out and do more of that, I'll have some results to show. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm happy about it. I got a couple of things to go with that. Extra batteries and like a screen protector so that I can take care of this camera, since it's basically the first new camera I bought that wasn't... It's kind of multi-purpose. Everything else I bought has been kind of singular purpose. But this one I'm going to use for a ton of stuff. And I'm really excited to see how it does. I have read mixed reviews for adapters, because this is the first Sony camera and all the lenses that I have are Canon, and all the adapters that I see online say that they work with Canon lenses, but they work with Canon lenses that were made after 2009, I think it is, and all of mine are older than that because I can't afford brand new lenses or ones that are more modern. Those are really expensive. You know how much it is for a lens that I could do wildlife photography natively on this camera? It's like 12 grand. I bought this camera for $225. Yeah, I'm just going to get an adapter. The problem I might have, it should work and everything should be fine. It will look okay. It's just the autofocus isn't going to work, which means I have to get used to manual focusing. That's not the most ideal for really fast-moving subjects like wildlife, but that'll be a learning lesson when I pick up an adapter at some point. But for the time being, after, I'm 3 hours with it, it's pretty good. And then I just recorded a short video talking about the server that I built, and I'm recording this one right now. This one's been going on for a lot longer than the other ones, the other clips that I had to do for the server video that kept cutting out because it got too hot. We've been going on for 8 minutes now, so that's an improvement. Better than nothing. Anyway, new camera.